Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog. So it's definitely not morning time. It is 4:30, so I'm starting this pretty late in the day. What are you doing over there, ma'am? She is awake. So I just finished getting ready. I still need to change my clothes, but the baby just woke up from her nap. Apparently she escaped her swaddle. Oh my goodness. Are you a sad girl? You're hungry, huh? She is definitely hungry, so we're going to...
Mama,
We're gonna get her out and feed her.
Mama, I need to mess with her.
You what?
I need to mess with baby sister.
You need to mess with her.
No.
Measure her. You need to measure her.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're not gonna measure her right now because she's hungry, okay? So I'm gonna feed her, and then so my parents are building a new house.
You mean like Lala house?
Yeah, like Lala's new house. And I think we're gonna go, I finally got my car back yesterday or the day before. Day before yesterday. Today is it's Sunday, not Saturday. It is Sunday. It is Sunday, June 13th. So I got my car back on Friday. Finally, after a month and a half. So I think I'm gonna feed the baby and then we're gonna get ready to go. And I think we're gonna go, the last time I went out there to go see where they're building the new house at, it was just dirt. There was nothing there. So we're gonna go, and apparently they have done, like, it actually is a house now. So they have like all the framing and everything up. So I think we're gonna go out there and see their new house. That's exciting. Yes, Lala's house. That's what they call my mom, Lala. So we're gonna go see the new house in a little bit, but right now I'm going to feed this little baby and then I'm gonna change my clothes. Oh my gosh, okay, it is so hot out here. So I'm in my car. I came to turn it on. It is June and I live in Texas, which means that it is officially summertime. And I don't like this. I hate this weather. It is way too hot. But yeah, it's like 94 degrees outside, but I guarantee that with the heat index it probably feels like at least 100 degrees. So that's great. So probably 2 months ago maybe, I ordered these little, they're like car little things that you put in your, let's see, in the cup holders, and I think they're so cute, but I didn't have my car, so I obviously couldn't put them in here. So doing that right now. They're a little bit smaller than my cup holders are, but it's fine. They're cute. I like them. They're so cute. My car looks so clean and so nice. They detailed it before they gave it back to me, which is awesome because it's dust free and nice and clean and pretty. So I already got the kids dressed. They're ready to go. We just needed to get Alethea in the car seat, and then yeah, we should be ready to go. I think that I'm not sure if we're gonna do anything else. It's already 5:30, so we might, I think we're just gonna go look at the house, but I'm not sure. We may, who knows, we may end up going to do something else, but yeah, that's what we're about to do right now. So I'm gonna go back inside and we're gonna get the kids and get ready to leave. You wanna go bye-bye? Oh no, okay, hold on, we're not ready yet, hold on. Do you wanna, hey, look at me. Do you want to go for a ride in the beep beep? You want to go for a ride in the beep beep? We have to go get the diaper bag. And you have to tell Dad, let's go. You go get in your car seat? Hmm? Let's go, baby.
I don't know what to do tonight, but I've been feeling like you're pretty easy to like when your body is closer to mine. You got me feeling like there's no one other than you who can make me lose my mind. You start me up like no one has ever could.
This, I think this, yeah, that's gonna be the playroom, yeah. And then this is a closet. And then this is what I think we're gonna do. This is Brinley's room. Bryn, this is gonna be your room. Yeah, you want this to be your room? And this big closet? Yeah, that's their bathroom. That's gonna be his room. They got strawberries. Yeah, and then this is the living room. And then this is Angelique's room. That's a tiny room.
You feel my fire, fire.
Oh, like that.
Baby sissy, she doesn't even know what's going on.
You feel my fire, fire, fire. You feel my fire. Let's keep this fire alive. Let's keep this fire alive. You start me up like no one has ever could. You feel my fire. What are the odds we end up loving it? Spending every minute together. I found it quite hard, quite
Hold on, baby. Gotta get this lotion on so you don't get a bunch of bug bites. Legs too. So we're home now. The kids are playing in their little pool that we got for them a few weeks ago. He's giving you your chairs so you can sit in them. These little chairs are from Target. We found them at Target and by like the dollar section. They were $5 each, which I feel like was a really good deal, and they love them. I don't know if you can still find them though, because that was a while ago, probably a couple months ago now that we got them, but they love these little chairs. So we have 3 different, they're Home Chef meals, but we found them at Kroger. We used to get them all the time from Kroger's. Kroger. I saw something that said like when people say Kroger's, there's no S on the end of it. So I always say Kroger's. But we got 3 different ones, 3 different Home Chef meals. I think we're gonna pick one of those to eat, to make for dinner, but it's only enough for us too, so we're gonna have to make something else for the kids. Does one of them sound better to you than...
Yeah, the steak one.
You want the steak one? Well, I guess that's decided. These are what I was talking about. They're little Home Chef meals that we find at Kroger's, and we have this one. That's a Mediterranean style steak strip wrap. This one's really good. We just had this one maybe like 2 weeks ago, and then we also have these 2. We got a new one. There's this chicken one, piri piri. I don't really know how to say that. Piri piri grilled chicken, a grilled chicken one, and this one you cook on the grill. And then the one that he wants tonight, we've had this one before, a while ago, whenever we lived in our apartment. We had this one that's steak and bordelaise sauce with creamy Parmesan potatoes. So this one was really good. So I think he wants this one. So we're gonna make this one tonight. We find these at Kroger. I know you can order Home Chef meals like off of their website. And like a lot of YouTubers have discount codes and stuff for them. But we've never actually done that before. We always get them from Kroger. And we really like them. We've tried quite a few different ones, but we haven't, I think the Mediterranean, the steak wraps are the ones that for first time we've had them in a while since we moved back in with my parents, which I think I'm going to talk about in a little bit. That I mean, in case you don't know, a lot of people watching this probably do know, but that we do live with my parents right now. We used to live in an apartment, but things happened and now we're living with my parents at my parents' house. So I think I'm going to talk about that maybe later and explain like what happened and why we live here and all of that. And I know I was showing earlier at the new house saying like this is going to be like our room, this is going to be Brinley's room, the baby's room, Julian's room, all of that. So y'all probably heard that, and if you don't know, you're probably wondering, like, you have 3 kids and like you live with you're gonna be living in your parents' new house. So I think I'm gonna talk about that later. Okay, so the kids are downstairs eating dinner. Ignore the mess that you see behind me because I need to finish cleaning up. But I think that while they're eating, I said before that I would talk about how we used to live in an apartment, now we live with my parents, and just explain why. So I'm gonna try and make it quick and not some like long story, because I mean there is a lot that goes into it, and it happened over a good few like 7 months. But so we lived with my parents. I always lived with my parents. When Brinley was born, when she was about 6 weeks old, Chris moved in with us here. We lived here until the end of April 2020. So it was right kind of at the beginning of COVID. Like, I think COVID really hit kind of like in March, but it didn't start like really affecting, I want to say it was like maybe May where it was like starting to affect a lot more stuff. So we moved into our apartment. It was a 2-bedroom 2-bathroom apartment. For our first apartment, it was super nice. I loved our apartment. We lived there for about a month, almost exactly a month, I want to say. And I think that it was June 1st of 2020, just over a year ago. Chris called me. This was right, like COVID was, I want to say in like full swing at this point. But Chris had called me and said that he had unexpectedly lost his job. The job that, keep in mind, I'm a stay-at-home mom. At that point, we had Brinley. She was 2. She had just turned 2. And then Julian, he was close to turning 1. He was maybe like 7 months old. I don't know exactly how old he was. But we had an infant, and then we had a toddler. So he had lost his job, and it was like, what are we gonna do? Because he pays all the bills. We have 2 car payments, 2 car insurance bills. We have obviously rent, we have renter's insurance, we have our electricity bill, like all of the bills that come with being an adult and living on your own. So whenever he lost his job, it was like, holy crap, like what are we gonna do? Luckily, we had a good amount of money saved up before we moved out. So we had a good amount of money saved. We were like, okay, obviously we'll use this money until you find a new job. But because of COVID, this was at the point where everybody was firing people and letting people go, obviously. So it was extremely hard for him to find a new job. Finally, after I want to say a month, he finally found a new job. He was actually going to be making more money than he was before. So he had a really well-paying job before. He was going to be making more money. That, long story short, didn't end up happening. They didn't give him very many hours. He wasn't working very much. So he just wasn't making the money that we needed to pay all of the bills that we had. At that point, he ended up looking for a new job. He ended up finding a new job, but because of this, we had gotten extremely behind on our bills. We had gone through all of our savings, and we weren't able to keep up. Like, he wasn't making enough money, and we weren't able to keep up with all the bills that we had, which really sucked for it being our first time living on our own. It wasn't a very good start to like being on our own. So basically he ended up finding a new job. He's still, which is where he's at now, he still works there, but he still is not making, he's making about half as much as he was at his original job that he had at first. He worked there for over 2 years and was making, for his age, making really good money. So basically it ended up coming down to, I had to get a bigger car because we had a third baby on the way, which happened unexpectedly in the middle of all of this. And I had to get a bigger car, which meant bigger car payments, and it just wasn't, we weren't able to keep up. We weren't able to keep up with our bills. We weren't able to afford to pay all of our bills, and there was just no way that we were going to be able to do it. We moved into our apartments in April, and I think it was the very end of November we made the decision to move back into my parents' house, which was not a decision that I wanted to make. Not that I don't love my parents, but we have our own family. We were a family of 4, and at that point expecting our 3rd child, and the last thing that I wanted was to have to move back into my parents' house. But luckily here we were able to, we have our own room. We basically have an entire upstairs area to ourselves. We have our own room. When we moved back in, one of my sisters was still living here, so we have a room. One of my sisters had a room, and then my other younger sister had a room on the other side of the house, and then Brinley and Julian shared a room. My other sister ended up moving out not too long ago, maybe about a month ago. When she moved out, Brinley moved into the room, which actually it's funny because the room that she was in used to be Brinley's room before we moved. So Brinley got her old room back. Julian has his own room. Obviously the baby, she's only 2 months old, almost 3 months old, so she still sleeps in our room. But now my parents are building a new house. That's why we will be going with them, and why we will be living in that house with them, why we live in this house. Basically, we just, during COVID, all of that just hit us hard. It was not a fun time. That was that was the hardest year that I have ever gone through. Definitely being a parent, my adulthood so far, that's been the hardest period that I have gone through. We have gone through. It was very difficult. So yeah, basically that's, I mean, trying to keep it short. There was a lot more that happened like along the way, but basically Chris lost his job, couldn't find a new job because of COVID. We got super behind on our bills. There was just no way for us to keep up. And yeah, we ended up having to move back in with my parents. So I guess like the reason why we are gonna be staying here, basically we broke our lease because it was the best, I guess, the best option that we had. We obviously couldn't stay, and we could have stayed, but we would have been behind on our bills. We would have continued to be behind on our bills, and it just wasn't a good situation for us to be in. So that's why we decided to come back to my parents' house. But we will be moving in with them at their new house because our plan is to try and get back to, like, back on our feet, get to a point where we have enough money saved, get our lives back together, I guess, from everything that happened last year, and hopefully within the next couple years be able to maybe buy our own house, build our own house, something like that. So hopefully the whole goal with us moving back in with my parents was to for us to be able to get back on our feet and be able to move into our own house within the next couple years instead of living in an apartment. So it's not the most fun situation. I mean, it's not bad. It's just going from living on your own and being with us having oh, the camera's about to die. We have obviously 3 kids. Being in a house with your parents, going from living on your own as your own family back to living with your parents and your siblings when you're used to being on your own, it's hard to explain unless you've been in the situation. So it's not bad, it's just obviously if we could live on our own, that's what we would choose to do, but this is the best decision, the best place for us to be for the time being, for right now, until one day we can be back on our own. So yep, basically that ended up being a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but now 11 minutes later. I hope that that makes sense. That explains, like, if you didn't know why we live with my parents, you're probably thinking like, wow, you have 3 kids and you live in your parents' house. Yes, we do. Yeah, that's why we live here. That's basically in a rough, like, I don't know, like a quick summary of what happened for us for the past, over the past year, like 2020. So I hope that that makes sense, and I hope that that was a good explanation. I feel like that was really like all over the place, but yeah, I feel like I got the basics of it across. So yeah, so there's that. I'm gonna go back downstairs now and see, I can hear them down there being loud, so see if the kids are done with their dinner, and then help Chris get them ready for bed, and then we will make our dinner, our steak and potatoes. So yep, let's go do that. And so this is how the food turned out. I feel like it doesn't look as good on the camera as it does in person, but it looks so good. I think we're gonna eat and watch a movie probably, and then go to sleep because he has to work tomorrow. So yeah, I think I'll probably, since I started so vlogging so late today, or recording so late today, I'll probably will continue to tomorrow. So yeah.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready?